Bang, there it is.
What up, though? Word to Nigel
There it
McGuinness.
is.
We here.
What up, man? 105.
Power 105.
Power 105. Power 105. What's
Oh,
good, kid?
shit, man. Feeling good. Elijah Rosario, new chemical reaction single out right now. We got a show in Richmond, Virginia this weekend. Then we got DC in 2 weeks. So that should be real nice. Watching the guard change in all these label places. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going through the motions. Motherfuckers is leaving their jobs, getting new positions. People putting up long posts and happy memories and shit. It's crazy, bro. Like, a lot of people are like, yo, you should work for a label, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to be a part of that revolving door. Like, when shit don't hit, it's like I don't want to be like, yo, I had mad memories here. Remember this guy that I brought in and this nigga that I brought in? And it's just like, yeah, nigga, on to the next. So, I salute all my record label homies, but yo, man, I just prefer to be independent. Like, I grew up on Nipsey and Dom in college, so it's like, nigga, I'm proud to pay, nigga, independent life like a motherfucker. I'm sure we probably just lost some demonetization with my N-word usage, but hey, man,
I was going to let it go, but all right.
it's the RSC, man. It's the Almighty. You know what I mean? Episode 105. But no, salute to all the homies that are currently going through things with their jobs at the record labels. You know what I mean? But go support that Elijah Rosario Chemical Reaction single out right now. I seen he was on the Grapsity pod.
Yeah, man. The good Sir Phil Lindsay hit me and invited me to come chill with himself and Righteous Reg this Saturday. So I'm gonna go and chop
Nice.
it up with the good folks over there at Grapsity this
Yes,
Saturday.
sir.
Talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So salute to Phil, salute to Reg. That
Mm-hmm.
should be a pretty good time.
Good graps, good talks.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Familiar faces around the RSC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What was it? I think last year we had Phil on. We got to
It's
get
been a
Phil back.
while, man. We're going to
It's been
start
a good while.
rehashing guests, basically.
Matter of fact, I think it's been longer than that because by the time we saw him at in Philly for Mania, it had already been a while since we had him on at that point. So it's been a
Yeah.
while. It's been a good
We're going to start rehashing guests.
good
You know what
amount
I'm
of
saying?
time.
Shout to Kiki as well, too. You know what I'm saying? People definitely mess with Kiki. So we will be having Kiki back soon. It's Punk's World on Twitter. You know what I mean? She will be joining us at some point in the next couple
Yep.
of salute to the Black Eye podcast. Black Eye Wrestling Podcast, always supporting us. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Holding it down.
Yes, sir.
Um,
But yeah,
I
man, like I'll
actually,
be on Grapsity. Something really cool. I just dropped these joints here, black on black
all
leather.
leather, the Papoose specials, nigga.
I mean, with
Look at these shits, man.
the pink strap. This is like
Clean.
ridiculously high quality.
Nah, those are tough. Those are
Ridiculously high
tough. If
quality.
only you could have laced Brett with one. Unless you did.
Yo, I was
Give him
really
the
really
prototype.
hoping. Nah, man, I was hoping that these were gonna be done in time, but they weren't done in time. But if I do get a chance, I'm definitely gonna hold on to a couple
Right,
of these.
right.
So if I do get a chance to cross paths with Brett in the future, we'll definitely hit him. But yeah, man, that's called the Y Pink. You can pick one of those up at partofmyfresh.com. I sold out of half of my damn inventory already, and he's been out a
Boy,
week
going
and a half.
crazy. Going
Yeah,
crazy.
they're moving. They're moving. So yeah, appreciate everybody that copped, everybody that shared, supported in any kind of way. But those are moving. So yeah, and I'm working on a little winter drop. So hopefully that's done in time. Hopefully like Black Friday might be a nice little launch date. But we'll see. I don't want to speak out of turn, but working on something else. But yeah, partofmyfresh.com. Pick one of those up. What else do I have going on? Grab City Saturday. I'm DJing on a boat on Wednesday.
Word?
Yeah, I'm DJing on a boat. Agency I work for, Atlantic, we're throwing
It's open invite? What
a
we
little
doing,
party.
son?
I got you. I got you.
What we doing?
I got
You
you. I
on a
got you.
boat? Like the fuck with you, boy. I'll
I
skip
got you.
dynamite for that, man. Fuck that 5 year anniversary.
Man, like I haven't. I gotta dust them turntables off. I ain't DJed
I was
in a
about to
little
say,
bit,
I was like, nigga, you DJing, nigga? Like,
bro.
damn.
It's on some cool shit. It's like just inviting a lot of people from the industry come through and just chop it up or whatever. But
Nah,
yeah,
that
man.
sounds like fly. You might have to pop out for that, John. I'm with you. I'm
Yeah,
with you on that, Playboy.
be down there in Red Hook, man. DJing
Oh,
on the
Red
boat.
Hook. Oh, it's right in the neck of the woods. I thought you was gonna be at Chelsea Piers,
Nah,
the usual John.
be in Red Hook. Be in Red
Okay,
Hook on the boat.
on the Brooklyn boats, nigga. I'll fuck with you.
What else is going on? My wedding anniversary is next week, 3 years.
Salute to those that's married.
I mean, a lot of good things going on in my
Nah,
neck of the
that's
woods.
good, man. Salute to everybody that's tuned in right now, that's joining in. I see y'all going up, the views going up. Y'all fucking with us right now. We on your Twitter space. We on X. We on YouTube. It's the RSCD Almighty.
Yes, sir. Peace to Blame Bug, of course.
Always
See
out
him
on assignment.
moving and shaking. I see his freaking fly miles are going up.
That boy going crazy, man. Fourth rope shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I'm fucking with it, though.
Without further ado, I think it might be that time to get this show officially started. So,
cheers. Let's go.
Peace to y'all, it's the Ringside Club Paul. A.O. Blame Boogie, Chad Law. The power's back, triple power bomb. The big dog trio in the stream yard. Go outside, hit the venue guard. It's all love when you see us, Lord. Back to the pad, on air for the pod. Ringside Club, intro to the squad. Let the show start.
Yo.
peace, 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 peace. I come in peace. Peace to the gods, of course. Peace to the earth. Peace to everybody in ears reach, eyes reach. This is episode 105, Power 105 of the most powerful trio in the game, the Ringside Club. 2/3 of the Ringside Club in the building right now, broadcasting live from the Empire Tri-State. We're everywhere, man. Subscribe, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of the past episodes, all of the future episodes. We're live every Thursday night. Took last Thursday off, but we're back here. We're back in the building this Thursday, of course.
We still got mad weeks, man. We be here every week, guys. Come on now.
We're good. 105 of those things, man. So we're here, man. I go by the name of A.O. Baker, man. Chat, what up?
It's the kid, Young Gaddafi himself, CHADLAW, Parlay Poppy, trying to check them parlays right now, and I'm currently tanking over on FanDuel. So if Devin Singletary can get a touchdown and Ezekiel Elliott can get just 20 more rushing yards, I'll be all right. But otherwise, that slip's going to hell. So unfortunately, I picked wrong, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I should have just went with Malik Neighbors and CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb's going ham right now. They are at the Giants at home. Everyone's like, yo, you should be mindful. It's the weather in New York. I'm like, y'all clearly not here. Like, there's no fucking weather in New York, New Jersey right now, man. It shit is just windy and chilly. Niggas had the nerve to be like, yo, it's windy and chilly. It could affect the game. I'm like, yo, dogs. Y'all clearly aren't in the tri-state right now, because it don't even matter. Like, I wish the wind would affect the way the fucking Giants are playing right now, because these niggas are terrible. Like, score is 14-9, if I'm not mistaken. So it ain't too bad at halftime. But I'm gonna need Devin Singletary to pick it up, man. Can't rely on Daniel Jones. Who you rock with, like football wise? Who your team?
I mean, Jets, but I'm really not much of a football guy. But Jets, really. I'm wherever the wind blows. It's usually the Jets or Giants. I've been a Jet fan the last, couple of seasons. I was a Giant fan when they won the championship. I ain't a real football
genuinely fan. New York. Like, that's how I give it up. I tell people I'm just a general New York fan, but I also
I like the atmosphere in New York when the Jets and Giants are good. So that's pretty much my stance on that.
When all New York teams are up, honestly. Like, the Knicks are up, the Nets are up, whatever.
I'm way more like, I'm definitely a basketball fan, right? So there's a difference. It's like, football is cool when it's on. I definitely do something for the Super Bowl at the crib, but Knicks, like, if there's a Knicks game on, I'm watching a Knicks game more than likely, you know. Speaking of which, like, same thing with the Liberty. I've been watching the Liberty
on fire right now.
Yeah, I've been watching the Liberty. They got out of the first round, so it looks like there's a very good chance that we have a basketball championship in New York before the end of the year. I mean,
it's going to be good. Imagine it's Knicks and Liberty. What a year this could be.
The next season is starting. What a year
this could be, man.
We're within a couple of weeks of the NBA season starting. So,
yo, do you feel like the Knicks team will get along this year? Some of the discourse I'm seeing.
I don't know, man. It's like it's like talking about wrestling. I mean, all these people talking about this and that and the third. Y'all ain't in the locker room. You're not during practice. I'm gonna fuck what y'all talking about.
Well, maybe not like when the whistle. But I just mean more so like
I think the chemistry right now,
Chemistry,
the
yes.
chemistry right now is going to be interesting because Randall was out so long last year, and they pretty much developed like that Villanova Knicks really meshed together really well. So it's going to be interesting to see like once Randall is officially back and healthy, and we have that starting five that on paper we think is going to be good, what that actually looks like. But the other part is like that's really a chemistry thing. You give them time to play and adjust, and we'll see. Like I think like Randall
Don't
not
panic.
being, but I think
That's how I
Randall,
feel.
but Randall not being the number one like go to guy, I think is really good for him. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah, it's
It's
good for
really good.
us. You
Is
got a
yeah,
wide variety of people you can go to as between Jalen,
100%.
Mikhail, OG if he's actually healthy. Hopefully OG can play, and then Julius if need be. And if Julius has to take over, he can take over, and you can feel comfortable about it. It's
Yeah,
just
like I think like because like Randall, a lot of Randall's game where he gets in the most trouble is holding the ball and ISO. So the less time that he has to be just handed the ball and then create for himself, and the more that he can kind of play off of what Jalen is doing and Hart and everybody else that's out there, we're good. I mean, we saw DiVincenzo really step his game up to the next level
now
last
that's the
season.
issue. Is them getting their minutes regressed for the coming season? Is that going to be a conflict?
We'll see.
Which I don't think. If we're not 10-0 by Christmas, like I'm not panicking because we have a good squad. We have a really good squad. It's just
Yeah,
chemistry and figuring it out.
I think these guys are pros.
Me
So
too.
I think 100%. Like I think that Randall is the second option, and I think that that's where he probably plays his best ball. I think clearly this is Brunson's team, but I think Brunson being able to handle the ball but still like draw a lot of attention from the defense
Yes,
is going to open things up for Randall, and that's a good thing.
I agree. I think the Nova Knicks should be the Robin and not the Batman. I think when it's time to pull out the fucking the bat signal for the Nova Knicks, it should be when it's like, okay, this like new fresh lineup didn't really work. Let's go back to what we did last year. Not jump
I'm not
out the
even
gate.
I'm not even saying that. Like I think like you put Randall in with whatever is working already because we see what's working now. Let's
But they
add
all
what you.
can't go. They all can't start.
They don't need to. You rotate, keep those legs fresh.
That's how
Which
I
is
feel.
which is a funny thing considering who the coach is. He deals with very very short roster
I think Tibbs is
rotations
in the
and
hot seat, man. I think this is going to be the year he is like
didn't he just
really
sign an
in the hot
extension?
seat. Yes, but also because he has such good ass talent, I think this is the year where like, yo, if shit ain't looking like it's about to go even higher, like if we don't make it past the semifinals and go to the finals at the least, then I think it's going to be like, yo, Tibbs, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't know. I think like I look at it step by step. Like Eastern Conference Finals is the goal right now. You know what I'm
we
saying?
can't
Like
do 3 years in a row semifinal exit, man. We can't do
no,
3 years in a row.
but Eastern Conference Finals is not the semifinals. I'm saying Eastern Conference Finals should
Yeah.
be the goal. You got to take it step by step. You can't just jump out and say, "Oh, it's a championship team." And you ain't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals yet. So let's get to the Eastern
You
Conference
would think
Finals.
the way niggas was playing last year, though, niggas was dead ass in the finals. Like niggas was like, nah, it's the semifinals, man. The Knicks, memorable. So it's like, all right, I appreciate that we still had that aura. You almost forgot it was the semifinals. The way niggas was playing, you would have thought it was the finals, like or the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I mean they just ran out of gas last year. A lot of injuries, man.
Yes, yes, yes.
I've never seen anything like that. There was so many injuries that happened at the same time that by the time Brunson got hurt, like clearly the Knicks weren't like going further anyway.
Yes.
But it was just like that
it was
exclamation point, like, damn, really? It's
it was
just
a
like
collective from the
if there was if
universe.
there
Like,
was if there was a question at
yeah.
all, he gets hurt in the last game. But it's cool. Like I'm looking forward to the start of the season.
Me
It'd
too.
be all right.
Season almost picking up, man. Hopefully they do better than the piss poor Giants. They fucking stink.
Yeah, I have that on right now. I mean, it's not like Dallas is good. It's just the Giants are worse.
This game is tough because it's like anyone could get the W here, but at the same time, if the Giants were to actually win, what an upset! But the Cowboys
Yeah,
to
well, the
win,
Giants have to score a touchdown. Let's start with that.
dog. I mean, they had 9 at halftime right now. You know what I'm saying? I need Devin Singletary to pull through. So, Devin Singletary, if you hearing this from the Lord above, please Please, man. I just need you and Zeke to show up. Some rushing yards, man. But we off the sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Sports Center is done. Let's get back to that wrestling. It's the RSC, the Almighty.
This turned into to the courtside club.
Yes, this was the Courtside Club, which is actually a pretty fire show. So all 58 of y'all watching and then some, keep y'all fucking mouth shut. We might have another idea coming up. Courtside.
Courtside club, bro.
Oh, man, yo. Where do we start, man? Where do we start?
I mean, speaking, just real quick, speaking of, because we're talking about Giants, Jets, they play in New Jersey. I saw that announcement. Shouts to my man Ricky from the Kings of the Rings pod. He texted me earlier.
Salute.
With the poster for SummerSlam next year will be in Jersey.
Yo,
nights
bro.
in Jersey.
I'm hyped for that, man. That's going to be fire. You know we're going to pull up for that, man. We got to be there. We got to be there for at least one night.
You know my stance, man. I'm cool for being in the area.
Yo,
I'm
dog.
not going to no motherfucking stadium.
I wish WrestleMania was going back to Philly. Like, everybody that's like, yo, it's mad cold. It's Philly. I'm like, yeah, man. Y'all niggas came from out of town or way farther. We driving.
Bro. It was cold, but I'm also not going to the big show. Like, I'm way more interested in going to what's happening around on some South by. Like, let me chill for the week. Let me go to this event. Let me chill with these homies, whatever. Yeah,
tickets going on sale for Vegas
Great.
for WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? What you think? You think we're gonna fuck with it? We gonna be out there? We gonna do Vegas?
You know what's
not
funny,
on no guys trip shit. Let's not turn it into into the Hangover. But let's
no. I was about to say, like, you know what's funny? Like, my wife actually. When they mentioned it was going to be in Vegas sometime last year, she's like, "Oh, you want to go?" I'm like, "You're asking me about a wrestling trip?" So I might pop out.
It might have to be them waves, son. I think once they start getting to pay-per-views twice in a weekend, it's going to be real fun. Like, I think Royal Rumble will be 2 nights. I think Survivor Series will end up being 2 nights. I'm kind of here for the double night.
I think like the big 4, let's say big 5. You know, at some point. Between
Saudi,
now and
2 nights in Saudi.
Nah, they'll do. I can see them doing 2. Think of the big matches that have men's matches and women's matches. Like, there's 2 Rumbles. Peace to Marks with Mikes.
Peace to Marks with Mikes.
Peace. Like there's 2 Rumbles, right? So there's 2 nights right there. There's 2 Money in the Bank, so there's 2 nights right there. Survivor Series, I can see them doing.
Yes.
And obviously Mania and SummerSlam.
Yes, that definitely works. 2 nights with the Rumble, I think, is really dope too. Women's Royal Rumble, men's Royal Rumble. I like that idea.
Because you can build, and especially what would be cool, what they're probably not going to do, but what would be cool is building, you know, Triple H likes doing these 5-match cards. So do a 5-match all women's card highlighted, you know, capped off by the Rumble match. And then same thing with the men's. Let the men's
That's clever.
You know,
it's almost too good.
Or they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, I know. It's almost too good. It's like an all women's pay-per-view. What are you trying to have? Evolution back?
But that would be so fire. Do the same thing with Money in the Bank.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. Do the same thing with Survivor Series too. Like, that would be cool. But
yeah,
I don't know. But then, like, this, you know, it really depends more so, instead of just having men and women for the sake of it, what's really hot going into the weekend. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you do want to mix it up. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, SummerSlam announced today. I think the tickets are going on sale whenever they go on sale, but it'll be in Jersey.
Sirski. I guess we could go. Do you have anything for this week in wrestling or nah? Nah. All right. Well, shit. We've got an array of things that we about to just speed right on through. I mean, we ain't gonna get too crazy with the speed, but we're gonna give y'all a good in-depth, you know what I'm saying, analysis. It's a lot going on this week between Vince McMahon's doc, the Road to Bad Blood next week, Grand Slam. But I'm gonna start with Champions Watch.
Cool.
Champions Watch for this week, y'all. Y'all know we pick a champion each, and we just, you know what I'm saying, praise their week and what's to come. My champion this week, Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, whose title might finally be in danger as she goes against Julia, the one and only, who has Funaki as a translator, which is fucking wavy, but right on brand. Next week for the CW, or in 2 weeks for the CW, whatever week. They've been rolling this shit for about a month now. One of these Tuesdays they're gonna show up on the CW network. So they have their women's title match. Stephanie Vacour is now in the fold, and she will be coming in at some point. She just made a cameo appearance on this past NXT. That was real cool. I love Stephanie Vacour, and I'm new to the Stephanie Vacour bandwagon after Forbidden Door. So I've been doing some backtracking or CMLL stuff, and just seeing what's going on with Stephanie Vacour, and I can't wait for her to get in the fold, man. The NXT Women's Division is smoking shit. Easily the best women's division in all of wrestling, like by far. Like, even with Julia Staleface, most of the time she's in the ring. I'm going to send you some of the videos. I don't know if you've peeped. I'm going to send you some shit so you can gauge for yourself how Julia's reactions are. Once she develops more comfortability and doesn't look like a robot, I think it's going to be real fun to see Julia, you know what I'm saying, showcase her shit, because she's good in the ring. Everybody knows what she can do as far as the internet, but globally, they're about to find out what Julia is about. I don't know if Roxanne loses the title yet. That's iffy. It's like, I don't know how they're going to get to that finish of that match. That's going to be real interesting, because Julia winning the NXT Women's Championship so early, like right out the gate, second match, it could be, cool pop surprise, but she could have an Oscar level run to where it's like only Stephanie Vacour is the next person in line. So I kind of think Roxanne retains by some hook or crook fashion to build towards the pay-per-view, or the PLE, I should say. But Roxanne Perez is smoking shit. She's killed everybody in the women's division of NXT. The main roster, while there are many advocates who say she should go to the main roster soon, I think she's fine at NXT right now. But with the way the Raw women's division sucks at the moment, if Roxanne Perez showed up and competed with Rhea Ripley or any of the women that are even competing for the women's title on Raw at that point, I think she has a great shot of winning the belt. So Roxanne can go to the main roster at any time and be just fine and actually get over. She's a great look, great worker, and she's still so young. So it's my champion of the week, Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion.
I'm going with Hook,
the former FTW champ, huh?
the last FTW champ. I'm going with Hook, man. He retired that title.
Finally, bro.
Pops, hugged him up.
Finally, man.
I like to see what happens. I thought it was kind of, part of me thought, like, watching that segment, that Hook is going away for a while.
An excursion, New Japan?
Not even excursion, just like, it felt like we were saying peace out to Hook. Like, let's just recap it real quick. He wins the match against Roderick Strong, and everybody in the crew gives him a handshake. No shenanigans. They didn't, he didn't walk off with him. They didn't offer him a T-shirt. And he gets out. He hands the FTW.
Sidebar. I think that was fucking terrible, watching the Dark World, not saying the Dark World Order, the Undisputed Coldom give the nigga a handshake and a hug after being the monster heel stable or whatever they was trying to be. Like, I just thought that was insane, dog. I thought that was just so
I don't know,
insane.
but I'm saying is, like, I don't know if that's playing into something that we're supposed to pay attention, like put a pin in that, or like they give him the handshake and he leaves the ring. He gets on the mic with Shivani. He thanks the fans for support, not only himself, but the title, his family's title. Hands it to Taz, hugs Taz. Taz is crying. Walks off. Right.
Yeah,
then he walks off, turns around, and gives one more, raises his hand one more time to the audience, turns around and leaves. So it felt weird to me. It's like, is this a write-off for Hook, or is he like, what happens with Hook moving forward? Is where I was, where my
I think Hook
mind went.
finally has some real matches, and Hook finally looks like a serious wrestler and not like a hardcore 2-3 move guy. I think this is finally Hook's time to put up or shut up. Since Daniel Garcia is clearly in limbo, I think they're going to do everything in their power to make sure Hook doesn't go anywhere.
It's interesting. I just thought it was interesting, but like, yeah, I'd like to see, I think like them finally clearing that FTW championship out of the way.
It's good riddance, man.
Is dope, because now there really wasn't a real division. It was like Hook and whoever he's feuding with for whatever this period.
Yo, but you know what though? I wouldn't mind if it was the hardcore division.
Yeah,
like
I would. I don't want to see a hardcore division. Like, I think like they can do
less
of those. They
yeah,
can do
crazy.
less of those
I love
matches.
the hardcore shit. I don't mind it.
No, I don't mind hardcore matches. I just don't want to have an obligatory match just because we have that title.
There's car crashes almost every week on this show, so it's
but if it's built around something more than just we have this title, then it's cool. So, for example, when you have the match with Mox against Darby Allin, both of these motherfuckers are crazy, but we have a shot at a world championship on the line. It's not just because I have this title, so let's go have a hardcore match. It's that we have some real hatred, and both of us have the reputation of being like very violent, hardcore guys. That's the difference.
You know what? They never acknowledged the FTW championship as a serious title. Like, they acknowledge the FTW title is not a serious title. So it's like when it's defended, I'm just kind of like numb to it in a sense where I'm just like,
it wasn't necessary. Because like, fam, when you go back to why that title, and Taz says it ad nauseum anytime he's on the microphone and that championship is being defended. This is the Rebel title. This is the reason why that championship existed is because Taz was literally saying "fuck the world championship" when he was in ECW. That's not a hardcore championship. It was in ECW. There's a difference. So when it came over here, it was like it really didn't have a purpose other than this is Taz bringing that shit for his crew. And it was more symbolic for somebody to be holding that championship because it's Taz's crew. Taz doesn't have a crew anymore. Now it's just Taz's son holding the championship. Then Jericho has, like, it got very far away from what it originally was. And that's why there really wasn't an identity, aside from the fact that it wasn't recognized by AEW in kayfabe as an official AEW championship. So,
but it's the hardcore title. To the internet. To the internet wrestling community, it's the hardcore title
fuck
of AEW.
But I think, like, to me, it was just really, to me, maybe I read too much into it, but it looked like they was writing Hook off for a minute, or he's going somewhere, or he's doing something. So we'll see. But yeah, my champion of the week is Hook. I thought that was like probably one of my favorite Hook matches against Roderick Strong. I really wasn't expecting much, but it's also
Roddy. Can't go wrong with Roddy.
It's hard
Strong
to have a bad match with Roddy. Like, Roddy just can wrestle at such a pace, and everything looks crisp, and he brought the best out of Hook. Like, he's throwing a couple of Russian leg sweeps. I'm like, all right, Hook. I like Hook using the Russian leg sweep.
Nice to see him out of the fucking Jericho vortex for a change. You know what I'm saying? That was refreshing.
But it was a solid match and a ending that left me asking a couple of questions. So, champ of the week for me, Hook, last FTW champion.
Good riddance. Rest in peace to that belt. Now we're on to Prepped and Cooked. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the weekly segment, the RSC. We pick a wrestler who is currently on the verge of a downfall. They're prepped, and cooked is the wrestler who is already at that downfall. I'm going to start on the WWE side of things. My prepped wrestler of the week. This is tough, but I'm going to go with the stud line, a.k.a. the Prime Fusion Collection, Pride Fusion Collective. I hope I'm saying the name right. I might not be, but it is what it is. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Dakota Kai, What's-Her-Face, and Sonya Deville. I said Dakota Kai. Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks. They're definitely prepped for me this week. They ain't cooked. They never win. But at the same time, they are very much so on the chopping block when it comes to anything prepped. Every week they come out, say they're going to dominate. Just like Karrion Kross. We're going to dominate, take over the whole show, the whole division. We're the greatest. And then lose. I'm just throwing them out there this week just because I just feel like they are on a trajectory of, like, if there was women's trios titles, that'd be cool. If the Cocoa Butter Combat Club wasn't the women's tag team champions, they'd have a chance. If the women's Raw world title scene actually was all right and in motion, they'd have a shot. One of them would have a shot. But right now, I just feel like the three of those women are just not really in the best space. They are just complete filler right now. So that's why I said they're prepped. They ain't cooked yet. They still got some time to turn around, but they are on a trajectory of. So, how you feel? Agree or disagree?
It's the argument for me. Like, I'm going
Zoe Starks, Shayna Baszler.
It's just a weird name for starters. Like,
yes.
And that's a collective or a group, a faction that really has, to me, so much more potential. Just have them go out and, I don't know.
Make a women's trios titles, man. Can we get women's trios titles? There's enough factions. There's enough groups. They can get away with it. They could take the women's tag titles and make a faction title.
It just seemed like too much of a free throw, and that's why it's not working,
Because that's kind of how I feel about the super heavyweight or the open weight division. We'll talk about this after Prepped and Cooked, but my cooked wrestler of the week, Roderick Strong, funny enough, we just said that, but Roderick Strong suffers yet another loss after loss. His group is fried. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett can't win a match on Collision to save their life or on ROH to save their life. And Adam Cole's still out. Wardlow is now confirmed to be out with a knee injury. That group is fried. They're cooked, sauteed, sizzled. They're done for. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think anything's going to happen with Roddy moving forward. Him and Kyle O'Reilly have parallel careers in AEW at the moment. One's just on a heel group. The other's on a face group. I just don't know where Roddy goes from here. He fucked around and hugged Hook after the match, which is like the complete opposite of what them niggas was doing at World's End just in December. So I don't know what's going to happen here with Roderick Strong. I really can't call it. Like, this genuinely has me stumped. Just a good hand, essentially, is what Roderick Strong will be for the next couple of. So what say you? You agree or disagree?
Roderick Strong is in the same spot that Kyle O'Reilly is because they're going to be in the same spot until they team back up. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't know. Roderick Strong had a dope run a few months ago as far as being
international
something to
champion.
do.
He's on that historic list that Will Ospreay named.
He was that was solid for him, but since then he's not really written into anything substantial. So I don't know. But that's going back, not to go backwards, but that's why that Hook, the ending to that Hook segment with them shaking hands was like, all right, should I put a pin in this? Should I remember that they shook hands and they left peacefully? Because are they trying to recruit Hook? Do they see potential in Hook? Like, Hook was able to kind of beat 3-on-1 because it was a hardcore match, right? So
Hook could beat everybody. Hook is, you know what I mean? Hook gonna beat everyone, my nigga. He beat Big Bill by himself, mad easy, made him look like chump change.
I'm just saying, as far as the Undisputed Era goes, is there reason to read into that interaction with Hook or not? You know, but yeah, like Roderick, I don't know.
Boy fried, man. That boy fried. Yeah, he fried. So Roderick Strong is cooked for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe next week will be different, but I have no faith in the booking of Roderick Strong. And according to Tony Khan, there is no more long-term storytelling in AEW because he doesn't believe in it. So that's his mouth, not mine. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So with him saying this, I officially am not going to bitch, moan, and complain about long-term storytelling in AEW. I'm just going to take every match and week as it is. There's no, what's the continuation? He don't care about it, so I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't either. Take every match and every week as it is, as it shows up on your TV screen, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. You know what I mean? If a nigga don't believe in long-term storytelling, that's just his philosophy. That's his pen. He's moving it that way, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of, holy shit, Miro's trying to get out of here, bro. It's funny. We just talked about Miro, and now he's trying to request a release.
Oh, well.
Back to what you said, I can't worry about the people that aren't on TV because look what happens when they're not on TV. They're trying to get out of here. They're trying to go.
I mean, like, make it work. Wherever you go, I don't care where you go. This goes across the board. Wherever you are, make it work. If it ain't working where you are, go somewhere else. Or make it work where you are. Like, whatever.
You think he could be solid in WWE now? I don't even want. I hate the fantasy book. I hate fantasy booking, but I just throw it out there.
There's no way of telling. Like, potentially, yeah, it would be dope if he, like, for example, if you put Miro right now, you know, in this kind of super heavyweight situation that we have going with Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, it could be some good moments that come out of that. It could be a million things that we do with Miro or Rusev in that case. Yeah, but there were also a million things we could have done with Miro. At the end of the day, it just seems like there's certain people that it just doesn't work wherever they go. And at that point, it stops being about how come they're not booked and maybe it's them. So we'll see. Wherever he happens to go, let's see.
Miro's the wrestling AB?
Could be. And he ain't the first one, and he ain't going to be the last one. Like, some of these
crazy.
People, some of that shit just doesn't work. And again, I ain't back there, so I don't know what the case is. I heard that he was injured for a little bit. Like, he's had like 15 matches in 2 years, man.
11 to be precise, my nigga. 11 matches in 2 years.
Right.
I did the stats.
That's
insane though. That's like Logan Paul level of like, but for the amount supposedly that he gets paid, I'm like, That's like Logan Paul, Roman Reigns schedule, my nigga. Like,
But like, let's like think logically here for a second, right? If he has 11 years, 11 matches in 2 years, and he's paid a good chunk of change, do you think Tony Khan is just purposely saying, I don't have anything for you, so I'm not even going to try to find you. I'm not going to call you. Or, like, he
it's
wasn't
you.
injured for 2 years.
It's a you problem.
Hello.
Yeah.
Like,
supposedly,
logically saying, if I'm paying anybody to do a job, I want them to come to work.
which is a telling that Tony Khan doesn't just be like, yo, I don't give a fuck if you don't want to work in this battle royal or not. If you don't want to work with Lee Moriarty on Collision, like, motherfuckers, show up. I got 7 million. I got
Now,
$1 million on you
that
right
to
now.
me,
Be here.
that to me reminds me of the quote from the McMahon doc that Tony Atlas had about Shane McMahon. The difference between Shane and Stephanie McMahon and who's actually more like Vince as a boss. It's like if you're a boss, you can't be nice or people are going to take advantage of you. And I think that a lot of the times it feels as though that's Tony Khan's issue. Is like Tony just seems like the most happy-go-lucky guy that has a
Oh,
shit
dude.
ton of money and is a big wrestling fan. So here's AEW versus, other bookers and other promoters who are like, no, I don't care about shit other than what I'm paying you to do. And that doesn't seem to me like that's ever Tony's stance. So that could be another situation. Like Miro's like, no, I don't want to do that. And Tony's like, all right, well, we'll try to find something. I'll call you back when we can come up with something. But the amount of money
What a
that I'm
life,
paying you, you're not
bro.
coming to work to
What a
wrestle.
life, my nigga. You could collect 7 figures just being like, you want me to work with who? Nah, I'm good. I'm in Bulgaria for the next 6 months. Like, yo, dog, I wish I had Miro's life, my nigga. I can't front. I know people be bashing, yo, where's Miro? Miro got to be. Yo, honestly, if I could have Miro's life for about a week, I'd switch. Divorce and all, injury and all. Pay me 7 figures to stay at home. I ain't got. That's like, yo, dog. That's you can't want you like. How could you not want to be Miro, my nigga? Like, you gotta want to be that nigga. Pause. Like,
I guess, but until until it becomes like that's your reputation, like you're a dude that's just
that
not
is
gonna
true.
show up for work.
That is true.
Right. And now it's like, all right, you're not gonna show up for work. So when you leave where you are right now that you're taking advantage of, I'm not paying you. Don't even come over here. Right. So then you start going down the list of these federations that might have some money, but they're not gonna pay you. So now you gotta go here.
So, is this the end of Miro's career as we are
I'm
currently
not
looking
saying
at?
all that. I think that look,
I'm not
there's a
saying it's the
there's a
end. I'm
good
not saying it's
shot.
the worst, but
I think there's a good chance that Miro does wind up
play
back in
ball.
WWE if
I thought you were gonna say play ball with AEW.
nah, I don't. If let's put it this way, if he is indeed granted his release from AEW, I think there's a really good shot that he finds his way back in WWE.
Yes,
But it's not gonna be because he's demanding big money or anything like that. It's like, no, you're getting a take it or leave it deal at this point.
yes,
So whatever
yes.
you was making over there, even whatever you was making last time you were here, might not be what you get now. Yesterday's price is not
Your
today's price.
downside ain't gonna be that high, my boy. You're gonna get this little downside, and we're gonna call it a day with you.
You're gonna get whatever. It might end up being really, really good money, but it's like market price based on a couple of years later. But
Yes,
at the end of the day, you're not getting big money or max money because the fuck have you done?
legitimately, if you look at Miro's
Legitimately, you're
track
coming
record,
off of an injury, right? You were legitimately injured, so that's why you weren't on TV, right? So how do I know you're not gonna get injured again?
and
what
if
I
you
mean?
look at the track record, Son hasn't done a single fucking thing besides that TNT title in 2 years.
Bro,
So
he has really, really good vignettes. But even with those, it's like, all right, you've kind of said this in as many different ways as you
every
possibly
week,
can say it.
yes.
So now what do you got? Show me something, bro. Like people are so quick to blame this mystery creative team that we don't ever see and none of us actually have interactions with as to why it doesn't work with some of these guys. Miro could just be one of them guys that just is not easy to play ball with. Who the fuck knows? All I know is I don't really see him on my TV that much.
And with that said, I can't think about Miro anymore. As much as I campaign for Miro, he's not on my TV, so I can't think about him in the wrestling capacity the way I would like to because he ain't there, man. He ain't on deck. You know what I'm saying? But you know
Pretty
what is
much.
on deck? The monstrous monster feud, last monster standing of Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman.
This is like one of my top 2 or 3 favorite things on WWE TV right now, man.
Yo, son, I'm saying it right now. They're gonna be a tag team by the year end. Them and Andrade and Mello, like they're gonna be the 2 new bludgeoning feuding guys who become a tag team partner in the next like 6 months. Yo, I call it right now. Like watching their interaction on Raw, I was like, they're gonna be a tag team sooner than later.
I feel like they could do that, but I think that's like the easy way to go. And if they are a tag team, that should last for 14 minutes. Because who's gonna face them?
You're right, because that's what came on. I was like, yo, if they're a tag team, they should be smoking shit. Like,
I think that this should be a way to elevate Bronson Reed. Like I think Bronson Reed should beat Braun Strowman. I just think at this point there's a little bit more of an upside and an excitement and a freshness to what Bronson Reed can do versus what Braun Strowman can do because we've seen Braun Strowman for so many years. He's been, this champ, that champ. Bronson Reed is a guy who hasn't really been elevated to that next level yet until really now.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? So I think if he beats Braun Strowman, who's been over and established with the WWE fan base for so long, then it's like, all right, we've seen him take Seth Rollins out. We've seen him take about to say K Quick.
oh man, Ron Killings.
Oh man, we've seen him take R-Truth out. So he's got a couple of names under his belt. Now this will be his first big feud that he comes out on top. Then it's like, all right, what's next? He's moving up that Mortal Kombat, right? I think that'll be really dope for Bronson Reed. If they're a tag team, like what are they gonna do? Who are they
Filler,
feuding with as a tag team?
Filler, the Alpha Academy,
And like,
uh,
why? I don't want to see
Wyatt
that.
Six. There's
I
mad
don't.
people that can feud with as a tag team, but
Yeah,
that's
but
why
it's
it came
this,
to my
but this,
mind. I
but
was
none of
like,
that is fresh and none of that is exciting. You just listed mad people that I don't want to see personally.
I mean, they on Raw every week, my nigga. You can't avoid them niggas.
Yeah, you can because there's a button on my remote.
You can't avoid the Wyatt Six, man, who's now got Alexa Bliss on the return. You know what I'm saying? Who's currently on schedule to return.
Yeah, but
We should be.
Alexa Bliss ain't beating Bronson Reed or Braun Strowman. So
Well, we are technically going to be getting a Wyatt Six, some type of feud with Wyatt Six, and possibly Judgment Day. I think that's where they're merging towards next to finally. Like, I think after Bad Blood, everything needs a reset. Like, I really hope we get a hard reset after Bad Blood. Because I can't with this CM Punk, Drew McIntyre shit. Like, I can't.
isn't it interesting how 2 months ago, month and a half ago, CM Punk versus Drew felt so fresh and had an energy and it was a blood feud and then little by little it was like, all right, all right, all right, all right. Like now it's like I'm just really ready for this to end. Isn't it
There's
interesting?
only so much promos these niggas can have back and forth where they're just like, this bracelet, this dog, your wife, my career, the main event, spotlight, fuck you and fuck you. Like, it's like, all right, we got
I
it.
think they did 2 matches too many or one match too many. Like I think this really could have been like, a blood feud for a while that culminates in one big match and they just go all out and somebody gets left off of TV for a while. You would say Drew because you probably would want Punk to come out on top of that feud. So, but just one match. We didn't need a 2 and a 3. Let's
The
just
strap
have
man, the
one
lights
big.
on it and shit.
We didn't
Shit
need
was
all of
great.
that. We didn't
Shit
need
was
all
wild.
that. Let's just do one, make it a old school cage match, or even if it's just a match, not last man standing, but like a no holds barred or something, but just one big match that is really, really fitting for the end of a feud where this person hates that person and vice versa. Sometimes like these 3-match series are good because you want to see more and they kind of get better and better. But this, I think, had the opposite.
That, I think, should be the finale. Like, at Bad Blood, this has to be the end.
No, it has to be. What are we gonna do for a fourth? Like, what are we doing?
Survivor Series, man on man, team on teams, Team Punk, Team Drew.
Way. I don't think like it really should have been one of those things where they don't think about how dope it would have been, right? If they have this feud, they have one match, they start interacting with different people, and the next time we see the two of them interact is the 2025 Royal Rumble, where the
which
injury
will
happened in the
probably
first place.
probably be the case.
But where the injury happened in the first place, like that would have been kind of dope.
I'm kind of with Bully Ray on this one. I think a Hell in a Cell almost doesn't do any justice. And I think we spoke about this last week or the week prior, but I just think the Hell in a Cell, only for the theme, the anniversary, the pay-per-view, we get it. But feud-wise, this feud needs like I Quit or some next level type of stip, as opposed to, yo, jump out of the ring and I'm going to throw you into a fucking chain link fence and possibly take you to the top of the cell and give you a go to sleep on the top of the cell and then climb down and that's the end of the match.
100%. So like, I didn't listen to Bust It Open, but I agree 100% with that. Like, because I think we've seen everything that we possibly could see. The Hell in a Cell could go away for some years. By the way, like we can just let that match go away.
Right now, they've
for
only
a
given us
while.
to us once a year. This is the once a year for Hell in a Cell, so I'm kind of fine with that.
We don't even need it, because what are we seeing in the Hell in a Cell? Even if it's only once a year, that's like, oh wow, that's crazy. I didn't see that coming. Like they exhausted all of the really special big shit that we could see from a Hell in a Cell. So let it go away for a while. We like some of these matches and match stipulations does not need to be a
Yo,
once a
remember we
year
had a
thing.
whole pay-per-view of Hell in a Cell, my nigga. We came a long way from just that era of
But
just
think
having a
about
Hell
that,
in a
like,
Cell pay-per-view where almost every match was a Hell in a Cell, my nigga. That was insane, dog.
but because that's the reality, it's been played out. We've had full cards of Hell in a Cell matches. It's been played out. Let it go away for 2 years. Think about how fresh a Hell in a Cell is if it's like every other year. Then you have
Like
to build
Elimination
up to
Chamber.
that. But you need to build up to that. It should be like cage matches, in my opinion, should be those match stipulations that really is only called for when you have a feud that calls for it.
It's funny. I would step one a cage match, and then the next step is Hell in a Cell. Like screwy finish, cage wall breaks, no real decisive winner in a cage. Then you get to Hell in a Cell, and now it's like, all right, now you can get outside the ring and hit the cage and all the chain link fences and shit and go crazy. So I kind of like that setup for a Hell in a Cell, like particularly like use a cage as the first and then go to Hell in a Cell. But either way, pack this fucking feud up, man. This shit's got to stop, bro. She's got to end. They got to go their separate ways. I don't know what Punk does after this. I don't know what Drew does after it, and I'll think about that after Bad Blood. But for
Hey,
now,
that sounds like the creative team that you're paying money to come up with something.
you know what I mean? Speaking of something else that I think can go away, this Sami Zayn and Gunther feud can fucking end, and I think it ends at Bad Blood for good. It's got to stop.
Is that booked for Bad Blood?
No, because Gunther's still avoiding Sami Zayn, and I think that's the bullshit part. It's like, yo, dog, come on, man. Like, yes, he's beaten you before, but for you to keep coming out every week after Sami cuts these heroic babyface promos, to keep getting told no, I just think we should have just said, yo, match is happening, and work from there.
Yo, check this out, right? Now, this is like the perception is reality thing. Think about Gunther, and we're like one more feud away from there being chit chatter on the internet, I guarantee you, about how WWE is misusing Gunther and his world championship reign as a flop. I guarantee. And it's really only because it's not necessarily the wrestler, it's the feud that wrestler is in, and the championship is really a prop to tell these stories and build these feuds around.
It's also not the focal point of Raw. Like, but not at all a focal point of Raw.
Take Gunther out and put Swerve Strickland in for his first couple of months as world champ. Right? You're about another month away from the same timeline and for the same reasons that people were saying Swerve's first title was a flop.
Gunther is fine, I feel like, as the champion,
so
as a heel, as a dominant heel champion.
But
Swerve,
Swerve,
you didn't know what Swerve is. Swerve heel face. What's he doing this week? You know what I'm saying?
When Swerve won the title, he was a clear baby face. He didn't switch back until he started interacting with Hangman again. Right? Excuse me, with
Brian.
With Ospreay, really.
With Ospreay and Danielson, yes.
Right.
The top baby faces, the bigger baby faces is when it's like, oh, all right, now I got to be on my heel.
It wasn't. But my point is, like, if we're treating it, kind of reason for reason, we're another month away from Gunther being like, oh man, look at what they're doing to Gunther. He's not the focal point. He's not the main event. He's out here, blah 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 blah.
I
So
think we need
what
Gunther monster matches. I
what
think
we
Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman should be a number one contenders match damn near.
it needs to be somebody, and this is again why I think like we can have a sense of urgency or more of a sense of urgency on these championship reigns because it needs to be somebody that's been built up that we believe can possibly beat him. Nobody believes that Sami Zayn can beat Gunther. So it's the
I
same thing
mean,
when bro, if you had to take your last dollar right now and put it on the line, Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
not right now, but maybe
No,
6 months from now.
so that's my point. We need more of a sense of urgency to where we think somebody can beat him right now, and it doesn't matter how long he's had that title. It's the same thing with Cody. I think I said this last time we was on. Like nobody believes that Cody is going to lose this championship until at least WrestleMania. So that's why you have him lose that shit now. Nobody. That's why nothing is exciting because like, yeah, nah, Sami ain't beating Gunther. Of course not. That's
He's
why
already
you
beat
have
him
him beat
once.
Gunther.
This is Gunther's get back. And I would love if Sami Zayn had a world title reign. Trust me, I'm here for the Sami Zayn celebration of I finally won the big one. But also, I feel like nobody books in that like flash pan booking anymore per se. Like
I hate that it's called Flash Pan. I just think that I hate that it's like, oh, you either have to have this long epic reign or you're considered a transitional champion. Like that's
which
not fair. That's not fair either way.
well, to say like Kane's reign, for example, I didn't realize Kane had the WWF title until I looked back and was like, nigga had it for a day.
For a day. But that shit was exciting.
Yes, I
And
agree.
that helped to push a couple of stories forward.
Yes. So like
Look
those
at
are the
Mick
moments.
Foley. Mick Foley never had the championship for a long time.
No, he did not. He definitely did
like
not.
Stone Cold's reigns was like 4 months at a time, and then
The Rock's reigns was just basically like
Super
I'm winning
quick.
it from Triple H, giving it right back to him.
Right. Why do we need to have people that have to have this shit for 6 months, 8 months, long
Because
down
they're
like
aura.
every time?
Because their aura, their name. Gunther is
What the
supposed to
fuck does
have
that
a
mean?
year-long title reign.
Yeah, no doubt. But Triple H is remembered as a big time champ and had that shit way too long. But so was The Rock and didn't have it that long. So was Stone Cold, didn't have it that long. Undertaker never had a long ass reign. Like we're talking about people that didn't have years long reigns. We don't have to do this shit all the time.
It's kind of like how like boxing is looked at right now by the new generation, where it's like, yo, you take one loss and your fucking career is over. Like everybody's looking at you like a fucking herb, and you got to go into regeneration and start over. And so I kind of compare that shit to with the way the world title pictures look right now in the current landscape of WWE, at least.
But I mean, the difference though is like this is booked instead of this is creative. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, this is creative. And then even still with sports, right? If somebody takes a loss, then they win their next two, and now they're given a championship opportunity, and they win, they're right back on top. So you can book it that way too. You happen to have been the better man that night. I'm the better man tonight.
Wins and losses matter too much to a lot of these people. That's all.
But that's the story though. You can tell a story with the wins and losses because somebody was better that night.
If only we had a wins and loss calendar to keep track of everybody's wins and losses.
Yeah, I think all of these are just storytelling devices. The titles, the wins and losses, the feuds, losing streaks, winning streaks. They're all storytelling devices. People put so much weight on these shits. People put too much weight on wins and losses don't matter. Yeah, they do. It's part of telling the fucking story. Like everybody just be seeing shit on the internet. Or fucking Bully Ray said some shit mad times on Busted Open. It's like, yeah, well, wins and losses don't matter. No, it's part of the fucking story. All of that shit matters.
Nah, that shit don't matter, man. That shit definitely does matter. And I think that's another reason why Gunther is going to have the reign that he has. Just because nobody believes he's going to lose the title and he's going to hold on the title. And the person that defeats him, a la Sami at WrestleMania, will be a big deal when it finally happens.
Yo, I think because everybody expects him to have the same type of reign that he had with the NXT UK title and the progress, like these long reigns in the Intercontinental, I think it would be so fire for him to be so big-headed and arrogant, and everybody expects him to have this same, and then he loses now. And then think about the next level that Gunther has to go to be like, oh shit, let me get out this fog. I was feeling myself a little too much.
Yeah,
Now
I
we get,
lost 2 belts
bro.
to
Now we
this
get
fucking.
super, bro. Have him
Nah,
lose
it's
at
a
Bad
story.
Blood. Now we get Gunther's super violent Gunther. Fuck, Imperium is done. I don't even want you near me.
Ludwig, you can't win a match. Venture, you never win a
Bro,
match.
his first match back after losing should be against Ludwig, and he just busts his ass for 20 minutes on Raw. Like, he's pulling his shoulder up because I don't want this shit to end. I'm power bombing you through every table. We're breaking the ring down. I'm
Nah,
pulling,
that is fire though.
you
That
know,
is
like
very fire though.
now we get we get Walter back now. But
I like that. I do like that. Speaking of title reigns that came out of nowhere, Jey Uso finally wins the big one or the semi-big one, the Intercontinental Champion. Really good match. And usually I'm not a Jey Uso guy or match-wise, but the match was good. Really good false endings.
They have a
Great
good chemistry.
Great use of false endings, and also again the chemistry for them too. I could see them having finally the singles feud that Braun Breaker and Jey Uso need. Like, you know, when certain shit like just moves over and then it just clicks. Like, I think those two could be like blood feud niggas, like off top. Like, nah, I hate you, dog. Like, I'm gonna hurt you. Like, I'm really gonna hurt you for what you did to me. You took my title. So I like that.
There was some real electricity when they were just having the talking back and forth in the ring, and Braun was like, "Man, you've been here for how long?" And I did more than you in the short period of time that I've been here. And then he's talking about, yeah, your NFL career was trash, and they go back and forth in the microphone. Like,
they need each other, yo. It's crazy that
they have really good chemistry on the microphone. They have really good chemistry in the ring. That was a great match, man. A great ending, hot crowd.
I low-key chalked
the
that up
near
to
fall after the first Uso splash was so fire.
That was good. That is the best use of a near fall, and we'll talk to that before we wrap up with Dynamite. But yo, that sequence to me was like so fucking good. Like, that is the type of false finish I love to see in wrestling, because it got me. Because I was like, damn, now Braun's gonna win. Like, now he's got it. Oh, he didn't win. Oh shit. Jey actually used his generic moveset to win the match. I hate Jey Uso moveset, by the way. It's kind of what takes me away from the matches. Like, I just wish the moveset was
what works for him, I guess. Like, he ain't adding anything new to his repertoire now. I'll tell you that much.
Spear, super kick, body splash. Yo, we seen a spear in the same match. We've seen super kicks in 3 matches prior. We've seen a body splash from Bronson Reed that looked even more harmful than yours. So that's my only gripe with Jey Uso's moveset. But otherwise, the match was cool. Jey Uso's new Intercontinental Champion. I don't think it's going to last long. I immediately had the black cloud over me when he won the title. I was like, yeah, I think Braun's winning this back in Bad Blood. There's a reason this wasn't the pay-per-view.
Which, cool. Like, you see what I'm thinking about, how nobody expected Braun Breaker to lose the title.
I agree. I like that. Like,
I thought this was dope. And the story of, like, he could have had Jey Uso beat a couple of times but got arrogant. He's pulling his shoulder up. He's pinning him and throwing his arm up like it's a guaranteed 3. So now we get exactly what I said would be really interesting about Gunther is what we're about to get from Braun Breaker.
Braun is throwing, or I said Braun is throwing. Braun, too many fucking Brauns, man. Braun Strowman, Braun Strowing. Braun Breaker is showing exactly what he did in the Sami Zayn feud initially. Like, it's the same, like, yo, I'm mad confident I got this shit. Don't worry about it. And underestimating his opponent, and it bites him in the ass again. So I think this is great building up with Braun Breaker and what's to come. I do think he wins the Intercontinental title back in Bad Blood, but this would be a cool reign for Jey. And I think that the bloodline will interfere and cause Jey to lose the Intercontinental title. And we'll talk about this for the prediction show next week, but it should be a cool little run for Jey Uso, a little 2 weeks, a little 2-week John. You know what I'm saying? So, not the worst. Match was solid. I enjoyed the shit out of that match.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, really fun match. Really fun match. A fun Raw overall. Like,
yeah,
that was a good Raw for me. Like, and usually, like, these are like filler Raws, but we're getting closer and closer to Bad Blood, and this is a long road to Bad Blood, but we're finally closing in on the last stop. So I'm looking forward to that. Melo and Andrade, they will be a tag team before the year's over, bro. What you think?
That's a weird. Like I can see like Braun and Bronson. If we're
Last
doing
monster
like these,
standing.
yeah, if we're doing these feuds that end up resulting in tag teams, I think Braun and Bronson makes a little bit more like personality wise. It's tough for me to see like Mello and Andrade standing next to each other,
I think their
cutting promos
feuding
together.
is the solidarity, like them being able to
Could be.
like
Could be. I mean, it's
the bar.
WWE style, right? They feud with each other and then they run the tag team for like a short, 3 month. I don't know. We'll see.
I think them two are definitely going to be a tag team. I'm speaking this into existence because it just keeps them on television, keeps them having good matches, and it keeps them doing something other than just fighting each other every single week, which is fine. But once you get past the best of 7, y'all can't do a best of 12, my nigga.
That's
Come
what
on.
I'm saying. Like I think we're at that point where we don't need this needs to stop. Like it just needs to stop. Like they've had great matches against one another, but again, it's like where is this going now?
A tag team, that's where it's going. A tag team run and a tag title win is where it's going. That's how I feel. I think they'll not only become a tag team, but they'll win the tag titles they're on their first attempt. That's how
So
confident.
you don't think that either of these guys are the one to beat LA Knight?
No, not at all. LA's already beaten Andrade. Mello is not going to beat LA. Their only claim to fame is going to be a tag team title run, a la Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Like, they're going to have a tag title run. It'll probably
But
be an
that's the
extensive
thing,
tag
like,
title run.
but like to me, I don't know. Like to me, like Grayson Waller and what's his name?
Austin Theory?
Austin Theory. They make so much sense together as a tag that it was like, yeah, it'd be dope. It's almost like remember when the first time you saw Billy Gunn and Road Dogg together, and it was like, this works. Before
Strange.
even realizing that they would have been, it's like the personalities work too well.
Did you
So
think Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo worked?
nah,
I mean, shit, they ended up becoming one of the more popular tag teams with the fucking hell of a theme song.
yeah, great song.
You
Great song.
look so
But I don't
good
know.
to
We'll
me.
see if they end up becoming a tag. Let's see it. Prove me wrong, but I don't.
I'm speaking into existence, man. I say it every week. Every time I watch them interact, I'm like, these two are going to be such a dope, strange bedfellow tag team in 2025. Like, it just works. Like, they have the chemistry now where it's like, Melo's going babyface and Andrade is already a babyface. Like, it just is what it is. Like, you're not, as a matter of fact, no. It's like when MVP and Matt Hardy were a tag team. You might not remember this era, but those two feuded for so long over the U.S. title. They ended up becoming a tag team and winning the tag team titles. And Melo is MVP, and what's his face is Matt Hardy. Andrade is Matt Hardy.
That sounds rough.
So
I
they're
clearly
gonna
wasn't
have
watching then.
they're gonna have so many matches back and forth that they're just gonna essentially become a tag team. I mean, shit, MVP was a double champ during that era. He was a U.S. and tag team champion, so that was kind of wavy. I was like, MVP was in his fucking bag during that time. You know what I'm saying? And
It's just more so the MVP and Matt Hardy tandem.
yes,
Like on paper, like what?
yo, what? Go down a YouTube rabbit hole one random night and just watch the clips of that pairing and that whole fucking year-long feud it felt like. But yeah, that was a strange pairing. But it worked though. I mean, MVP was a double champ. There was a tag team champion. They teamed up. Shit turned MVP babyface for a couple. Like, this shit worked. So, speaking of MVP, that boy is all elite now, man.
Love it. Now you see how I say when you're not on TV, I don't really care. If it's rumored that you're going here or rumored that you're going there, I don't really care because it really only the only thing that matters is what happens when you're on TV. Are you doing something dope?
Yes.
MVP came out and did something dope. He's talking his shit. You forget how good that guy is with a microphone in his hand until you listen to what that man is saying.
This might be one of my favorite AEW debuts, like, of all time, just because of how low-key he popped up and how much unfiltered truth he spit on the mic. Like, he felt so confident. And that's what I'm excited for this AEW reign, is the unfilteredness that MVP will have on the mic to just get his point across.
And it's such a really cool angle that he's coming from. It's like, yo, you have this guy speaking to Prince Nana. You have this guy in Swerve Strickland who's the most dangerous guy. And mind you, he agreed with him. Yeah, he's the most dangerous person that we've seen thus far in AEW. Asterisk, because I'm about to bring my guy here, but he ain't here yet.
Yep.
So I want to see what you
Yep.
talking about right now before I push the button. But that shit is cool, man. Like, he came in here and said, you Swerve is the most dangerous guy. You have him, and now look at him. He's got his ass beat, got his house burned down. I'm not blaming him, I'm blaming you.
Yo, MVP listed the entire AEW 2024 like Son was already with the company the whole time. Like, he listed everything.
That's what a
He was
real
like, "Yo, I'm
scout.
watching."
That's what a real scout does.
He was like, I'm watching. Like, I know
Right?
what's going on.
What he's doing right now is forcing Swerve's hand. Swerve's gonna come back and either agree with MVP or stick around and stay with Prince Nana, which we know he's going to do. And then we bring the goons out and we see what this next iteration of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin look like.
So, what side do you go with? Do you go Lashley, Swerve, one-on-one, blood feudish, Wrestle Dream, long-term feudish type of thing? Or do you just go one-off match and just like the last blood feud that we mentioned, they become a tag team in the faction?
Nah, this is not a faction. I think Swerve is still staying solo with Prince Nana. Like, I don't think that dynamic changes whatsoever. I do think that if we start, whenever it gets to Bobby Lashley versus Swerve, Bobby's winning that. You know, you're going to establish Bobby Lashley as.
You think so? Because I think Swerve needs a rebound after taking 2 losses for all of September.
I don't, because I think he's established as a top guy, and when it's time to light him back up, I think he's fine. It's like
that's my only thing. I was
theory.
like,
it's the Okada theory. It's why I thought that for example, MJF could have taken that loss against Danny Garcia, because we've already established this guy as a top guy. It's fine for him to go on a losing streak. Then you reheat him. That's not hard to do. He's already established as a top guy. So with Swerve, I think it makes perfect sense. Think about how brutal that match with Hangman was. We had Prince Nana come out and say physically he's not ready to do shit right now. Swerve comes back maybe a little early in storyline. He's not 100%. You should be 100% if you're going to be able to compete against Bobby Lashley.
That's a fact.
That's all the more reason why Bobby Lashley should win that. Not only are you establishing him, but in storyline, my man is not 100% and not ready to go. So we're good to go. Makes perfect sense to me.
All right. I think Lashley wins. I still kind of think Swerve takes the W when they have the inevitable match, which is crazy because you don't want to put Lashley in that position. But I just think Swerve needs a W right now. Just right now.
But he needs a W right now to then do what? Is he going back after the world champ? Like, what does he need to build momentum for right now?
Hangman again. That's where they're going. That's where everyone is talking, bro. You might as well join the bandwagon, bro. They ain't going nowhere. How we felt about Drew and Punk is like, nah, Hangman and Swerve, they're going to get there real soon, nigga.
But
real
soon. Even if that's the case, he doesn't need to build momentum. They hate each other. He doesn't need to go on a winning streak or win any kind of match to get back in there with Hangman. That's not what that's about. That ain't about winning matches.
It's just I hate you shit.
We're one match away from this being like a die now match, bro. This ain't even last man standing. This is this is a buried alive match. We're doing casket matches. You know what I'm saying? We're doing casket matches at this point.
That's funny. Oh, I forgot they did do a casket match. Yeah, wow. I was about to say they should do a casket match. Oh, they did do a casket match. They'll do that. At all in, yeah.
But like he doesn't need to win. If Bobby Lashley is Swerve's next match, I think it does Bobby a lot better to win than it does for Swerve to win, in my opinion.
Fair. Okay.
But nonetheless, yeah, MVP is all elite. It seems pretty dope. I like it.
I thought they'd stop off at TNA first, but they probably have bad blood or bad feelings from their last stint there. So I think they would be a great asset in TNA right now. But them in AEW, I think, would be a great badass tweener faction. We already have the Idiot World Order with the Elite being the top heel faction. You have Blackpool Combat Club already as a heel faction. I just think the Hurt Syndicate being another heel faction Doesn't need to be the case. They could be tweeners, if anything. I'd like for them to be tweeners, where they could whoop anybody's ass because it's Bobby Lashley. You're gonna cheer for him regardless. You want to rock with Lashley regardless. I don't think people are gonna be blood booing Bobby Lashley. Like when he comes in, I think it's gonna be mad love. So him knocking Swerve the fuck out definitely ain't gonna be the most happiest thing from the crowd. But I think Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate should be more babyface tweener than evil heel faction because we already have enough of those right now. Like enough. We don't even have enough babyface to stand up against these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be cool. Speaking of babyface factions, the Don Callis family, right? It's a babyface faction. They just
not.
They just took a loss in the tag team title match against the Hardy Boys in probably the best defense the Bucks have had all reign, and in one of the better tag team matches of the year.
Yo, the Bucks can go when they want to go, bro.
I just hate when they Super Cena. That's my only gripe. I really hate when they Super Cena shit because what really pissed me off was, besides Don Callis's screwdriver inclusion that always seems to be the case, it's just the obnoxious kickouts of every dope move, man. Like, I'm over that shit, dog. I'm over it, bro. I hate it.
Doesn't bother me a bit.
How does it not bother? I mean, well, you're a New Japan guy, so of course it doesn't bother you. Like, you know what I mean? This is regular.
All right, so Jey Uso's finishing move is a splash, and Braun Breaker kicked out of the first one after a spear and a splash.
But that's not every match.
But that was the last match, so we're talking about the last match. What's the difference?
But
Why
there
is
was
that dope?
drama that made you really believe that, okay, there's only but so many false finishes. They had like 9 false finishes in that tag title match, bro.
So to me, like, the drama is we've seen a move that we thought was going to end, and another one and another one. Damn, we don't
How'd
know
they
when
kick
it's gonna
out of
end.
a Coriolis, my nigga? They kicked out of a Coriolis, a Canadian Destroyer, a Hidden Blade, a Tombstone Power Driver, a Meltzer
you're
Driver.
looking at it from the standpoint of this match. This move should end the match, and that's not what it is. I said this shit last episode. Sometimes it's cool to build your federation or your territory around nobody kicks out of this move. And sometimes it's dope to be like, no, I gotta fucking kill you to beat you, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to beat you. That's the difference.
The Bucks don't look like those guys where, like, come on, man. Like, that's the shit that just has me blown. Like, yo, dog, the Hardy Boys are not the niggas that I'm like, yo, you gotta hit 18 finishers and then you can finally pin them. Like, Matt and Nick Jackson should not be kicking out of a Coriolis, a Hidden Blade, a Canadian Destroyer, 2 Meltzer drivers, a fucking backflip, a Tombstone Power Driver, a RKO, a fucking super kick, a punt kick. These niggas kicked out of 8 finishes, my nigga. Like, dog, I was like, I hate it.
In your opinion.
I hate it.
Because Darby Allin is smaller than both Nicholas.
Yo, chill talking on the God, man.
Darby Allin weighs about 153 pounds. And you can shoot him and he'll kick out.
Nah, he didn't kick out of that fucking paradigm shift. I'll tell you that. That Death Rider. That nigga, that shit.
But look at what else he kicked. He got thrown on the steps. They pulled the shit back, and he jumped on the floor back.
But Mox didn't really go for a lot of pinfalls. There wasn't a lot of near falls.
Doesn't matter. Like, he's still conscious. He's 152 pounds. He should be unconscious.
There wasn't a lot of pinfalls in that match, man. That tag title match, bro. Them pinfalls killed me, my nigga.
Bro, if he kicked out of anything, the way that Mox was busting his ass, like, the match should have been already over. He shouldn't have been able to kick out of anything. My point is this: you're looking at it from whatever your opinion's your opinion. You're looking at it from these moves should end the match. I'm not. That's the difference.
I'm trained to know these moves end the match. WWE protects all finishers.
This ain't WWE. You got to open your palate.
That's the shit that just blows my mind.
I'm not looking at anything through any lens other than this is what you're presenting to me. Period.
It's a typical Bucks match, and that's all it was.
So why can't you judge a Bucks match by a Bucks match and not by WWE standards?
I hate watching these niggas take everybody's finisher and just hulk up and then just, that's it. We're going to hit you with a flippy flip in a title belt or a roll up. Like watching the Hidden Blade get kicked out of to then end the match with a title shot and a V trigger. Like one V trigger, my nigga. It was one V trigger. That's what did it.
God forbid a finisher move and a match, right? They were supposed to kick out of that.
One V trigger does it, but
You,
niggas have hit.
you the guy who wants finisher moves to be protected. Now the BTE trigger can't end the match.
Yo, niggas have hit every single finisher to the point where
But
I was like, yo,
you
if
want
the
finishers to be
Coriolis,
protected, but the BTE trigger can't end the match.
niggas kicked out of the BTE trigger already though.
But the BTE trigger can't end the match.
Yo, dog, I just hate watching 8 of these shits over and over in a row, my nigga. It's just too much, dog. It's like every other sequence. Like, holy shit.
Doesn't bother me one bit because I look at they're different genres of matches. I am not judging a Bucks match.
Yes, that's a Will Ospreay match for the most part. You're gonna get multiple finishers kicked out of.
Hello.
Great match, but nigga ain't finishing the match with the move you think he's gonna finish the match with.
Which is fine. I think that's dope. Why does I don't want to see shit be so predictable that this match it ends as soon as this move is hit. I think it's cool for why are you judging this by what happens in WWE? This ain't WWE.
I will say maybe it is my wrestling.
It's WWE. You just said WWE has me trained.
And I'll give you that. But it's also like, yo, the Bucks are not the fucking guys to just like, yo, I hate.
But clearly they are, because this is what they do in every match.
I hate when their matches go to this length, my nigga. I just hate when a match happens like this, because these shits just turn out so fugazi, like with these fucking false finishes, dog. Like I can't stand
this
is
wrestling,
shit,
dog. You can Irish whip somebody into the ropes and they bounce back and come towards you. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, I know we're not even fantasy booking. We're not talking about who's missing. This is like, no, I'm talking about what was on my screen, my nigga. Like, I hated that end of the match. Like, that almost negated how good the match was. Was that fucking 8 maneuver sequence of kickouts.
That didn't bother me at all. What bothered me about the match is the ref, right?
Well, that's AEW, bro. Come on now. Just like the finishes. It's AEW. You got to just get used to it, bro. You know the vibes.
But what I'm saying is, if we have idiot refs, at least make the idiot refs look not completely dumb. Don't make it look stupid. Don't make it look stupid.
You got to make it look stupid.
What was very stupid to me is, I forget the ref's name, but after Ospreay hands him the screwdriver, and then he goes to the opposite corner and just stands there with the screwdriver. Like, just make it look a little. Do something.
Right.
What's up?
At least we're on the same page with that one, because I was watching that shit just like.
Yeah, but like that's you can there's a good version of a Bucks match and a bad version of a Bucks match. This is a great version that we just saw the other day.
This was a good Bucks match. I agree. I give you that.
Dope. You know what I mean? So
match.
if this is what they do, I'm judging by like, what are you attempting to do and how well did you execute it? I thought they executed what they were supposed to do. Great. All 4 guys in the match. I thought when you involved Don Callis and the screwdriver, it started to get a little funny, because to me there should have been a little bit more of a sense of urgency from Fletcher to use it if he was going to use it. So he's just not standing there and
it's a case of another AEW babyface with a weapon in their hand that has the advantage and then has fucking blue balls and goes.
But no. But
I can't.
I'm not mad at the conflict. I'm just mad at the speed to get to the point. Like, take 3 or 4 seconds off and we're good, right? Because Fletcher is not a purebred babyface, by the way.
The way he gets beat and put over, you might as well consider that man a babyface.
Nah, but he's not.
He doesn't do anything heelish at all, besides be with Don Callis. Takeshita is more of the heel than Kyle Fletcher is.
But Kyle Fletcher was about to use a foreign object. That's a heel move. He's a heel. He's about to stab a guy with a screwdriver. He's a heel.
No, it's just babyface shit. It's Don Callis. It's like blur the lines. It's Don Callis. It's Don Callis, Will Ospreay. Blur the lines. You know what I mean? It don't matter.
He's a heel.
None of this shit matters. It's Don Callis.
Kyle Fletcher's a heel. I'm telling you, he's a heel.
Yo, they was cheering and all hugging and shit last week, and now here they are. You know what I mean?
But the conflict is here now, and he's going to side with Don Callis because Kyle Fletcher's a heel.
Poor Takeshita.
So like my biggest issue with the match was more like that part of it. But yeah, nah. Fire match. Great
Solid match. Marina Shirakawa returns to whatever. Like Mariah May sucks as women's champion. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, bro. Like her and Liv Morgan are having parallel reigns because both companies always bite off each other with anything. So Mariah May's reign as women's champion, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead to harken back on what you said about the Gunther reign about like, yeah, we're gonna start setting the smoke signals out and the fire alarms, nigga, because this reign stinks right now. Like, and it sucks because it's a holding pattern until Tony Storm comes back and they pick up again. But in the meantime, it's like none of this shit matters.
It's few, but this is across the board. What champion right now is in a really, really fire feud? Anywhere. Right? Braun and Jay is fire right now. So the Intercontinental Championship is dope. LA Knight is still getting, really big pops, but he's not necessarily in a really fire feud right now. Gunther's not in a fire feud right now. Who's Cody Rhodes feuding with? Is it on fire? Do you think Cody Rhodes is in jeopardy of losing his title? No.
Mariah just has no heat. There's no excitement.
No, the heat is in the feud.
There's just nothing. But that's what I'm saying. Until Tony Storm comes back, there's just nothing for anyone to believe in with Mariah May.
There's nothing happening. Like Bryan and Mox is pretty fire.
Yeah, until Commander shows up. That was it.
I mean, whatever. Like that has very little to do with Mox versus Bryan, bro.
Yeah, until Mox kills Commander next week on Dynamite in the main event, everyone's like, "Yo, kill Commander."
That has little to do with the issue between the two main people in that. You know what I mean? But it's like it's all about like, yo, do you believe that the person that's in the feud with the champ can beat the champ? She's not even in a regular feud with anybody.
She's just fighting random women because
right. So there's not even enough time to give her anything to sink her teeth into.
But there hasn't been like anything for anyone to sink their teeth into. Like nobody reacts to Mariah.
It's really Mina, but that's more about like, am I cool with you or not cool with you? So there has to be like a real definitive moment where Mina's like, nah, fuck you. I don't rock with you like that. For it to be some real drama and some real heat. And until we get that, we're not gonna really get much out of this reign. We'll get solid TV title defenses, which is cool. Whatever. Do that from time to time. But when we're building to a pay-per-view, we need some heat. So it has to be the official Mina, nah, I don't fuck with you type of shit. Or it's gonna be.
And even then, I don't believe Mina will take the title off Mariah.
Of course not, but at least there'll be some drama there. Not necessarily about whether or not she can beat her, but like what is she willing to do to her best friend? How far is she gonna? You know what I mean? Like there's little things you could do.
Shorty hit Yuka Sakazaki with the belt and then acted mad oblivious. Like, why'd you do that? I was like, yo, dog. Oh God.
Willow is the running champ.
Again and again and again and again, my nigga.
Fucking Willow is I'll save your ass champion, man.
Dog, Willow Nightingale will run down to the ring post-match and stare you down and might fight your battle for you. But that's about it. That's where it's going from there. She's going to move out the way and be like, yo, next contender, step one up. I done cleared the way for you. It's crazy. Her and Statlander, I guess, are done at this point. For now, I don't see nothing from Statlander. I mean, I would assume their feud is done. They've had their blood feud, you know what I mean, send off. So, I mean, also, Christian Cage as a world champion of AEW real soon. Buy or sell?
Nah, sell. It's not happening.
You don't think it's going to happen? I think it's the opposite. I think it's actually going to happen.
Who does he beat?
Anybody.
I mean,
I think anybody.
So Christian Cage beats who for the world title though?
No. I mean anybody in regards to whoever's the champion when he cashes in. I think he's just gonna win. It could be Nigga, Swerve can win the title back, and I think Christian. I'm lying. Not
Nah,
Swerve.
because think about it, like the reason why I say that very specifically is like, where are we with Brian?
The
You know
end,
what I mean?
nearing the end. Like I feel like Brian just wants to go home for good, and he's just like, yo, I got to do these dates, man.
But
I'm gonna
like,
get these dates out the way.
I get it, but like, whoever beats Brian, I don't know that I see that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, is
I
it
mean,
happening
shit.
at Wrestle Dream? If Mox is the guy that beats Brian, then it makes sense for their feud. But do you think it's happening at Wrestle Dream?
You know what's crazy is like everybody's prediction of Wrestle Dream completely changed over this past Dynamite, as it was probably going to anyway, because everyone just pegged Swerve, Danielson, Darby. That's it. That's Wrestle Dream right there. And it's like, that's not actually what Wrestle Dream's looking like at all. Like, here comes Moxley. Do I want Moxley to be champion again? Nah. I don't think we need to keep leaning on Moxley every time we need to go back to the top guy as a champion. But I think Bryan Danielson retaining and then Christian coming in to win after Moxley suffocates Danielson with a paper bag, that is going to piss a lot of the internet off. And I think that's fun.
It's not happening, though.
Yo, man. I don't think Christian has this casino gauntlet in the bank for shits and giggles. I think he's actually going to cash in and win. I don't think he's going to just cash in and be like, all right, I lost. I got my ass kicked.
I don't think it's an all right, I lost. I just don't think it's happening. Because I look at, like, whenever Brian finally does lose the title because of how much they put on it, how much they put on the fact that we know that when he loses that championship, he goes away for a long time. They're going to make that a much bigger deal than just he beats Mox, but then he gets jumped after, and now we get a cash in.
You know what? You're right. I think this will be Christian's storyline for the next couple of months, actually. I think this will be
that. I think is more realistic.
I think this will be his shit
for a while
of just looming. Like, I could just drop this whenever I want, and this is what's going to keep me relevant. And I think Darby is who wins, and Christian kicks Darby's ass and takes the belt from Darby to have the uber Rey Mysterio babyface reaction for Darby, where they're like, yo, how could they take the title from Darby? You finally
like,
won.
yo, listen, man.
And then we get Christian Edge for the world title.
Because Mox duped Darby out of his title.
Insane, by the way. Fucking insane.
Nah, he played him. But
fucking crazy, though.
Let's play devil's
advocate. Head of the Darby Allin fan club, I'm upset.
But let's play devil's advocate for a second, right? Darby's a babyface. Is it very babyface like for him to be challenged by Mox and say no?
Some bullshit, man.
It's not, but it's not.
Some bullshit, dog.
It's dumb, but baby faces are dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Such bullshit, dog.
He was duped into it. Mox came in and said, nah, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to get under your skin. I want your shot. And Darby said, okay. And then got his ass beat.
You know, right? What's crazy? I think we get a 3-way at Wrestle Dream.
What I was about to say is that would be interesting. But I was just going to do it with just singles matches. What I thought would be kind of cool is, like, because he got duped, now we have this match with Mox and Brian. I could see Mox beating him. You know what I mean? Keep that Blackpool Combat Club full circle type shit. Makes sense to lose to another bona fide world champ in Seattle or in Washington at least, right? Mox has the championship, and his first contender up is Darby. Again, doesn't have to be a long reign, but Darby finds a way. Maybe he loses the first one, finds another shot. You know, I see Darby being the guy that could beat Mox for the world championship, straight up one-on-one.
And then Christian beats Darby, and then that takes it over from there because they have their tie back to Wrestle Dream last year.
Right.
I'm just thinking about the callbacks.
Fam, that's like 4 months. That's like at least 2 pay-per-view, 3 pay-per-view cycles right there.
Easily.
You know what I mean?
I can see it.
And then you have like other guys, like Swerve is doing his thing over here. Hangman's doing his thing. Bobby Lashley will probably be in the mix by that point. Like, there's things that other people can be doing in the meantime. MJF will probably be back and beefing with somebody. Danny Garcia, hopefully, is re-signed. Right? He still has to get his lick back from MJF. So there's other shit that could be going on that's elevating everybody in the meantime. But like, if Mox beats, I don't think it's so far out of the realm of possibility. I think, put it this way, Brian Danielson has a better chance of losing against Mox than he had against losing uh, when he won the title in the first place.
Hmm. I can see that. See that vision. I'm more so just perplexed at that ending of Dynamite where Private Party and Commander were the fucking best help that Brian Danielson could have. Wheeler Yuta's in the back crying, circle jerking, and we got Commander and Private Party. And this should be Private Party's coming out party. So I think that'll be cool to see if they sink or swim. Commander, I'm just like, you could have put Hologram in here and would have had more of a reaction than this, but I don't know. It's just the alliances was just so peculiar.
Yeah,
Like it makes sense, but it's just like
it makes sense only because like they've all had issues with the BCC, but
yes,
Private Party and Commander is like why?
it's like Funaki and Taka Michinoku and fucking Draws pulling up to help Steve Austin.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like
Exactly. It's
it
like
was just bad
what do
way.
y'all have? So I mean, they're definitely so. But that's why like it's a trios match. They ain't winning them trios titles clearly.
No, spoiler alert, they didn't win the trios titles. Matter of fact, Claudio actually slow clapped, mocking the fact they couldn't win the titles. And Yuta had to show up to work. It's like, yeah, that group is fucked. They are cooked before they get off the ground,
Yeah, but you know,
which was crazy. I just know when I seen them show up, I was like, this makes sense, but boy, this is underwhelming. This ain't the guys I thought was gonna save Brian Danielson, my nigga. I don't know. That threw me for the loop, Ski. I ain't gonna hold you. I was just like,
but I don't know who would have come to Brian's aid though.
well, Darby was out cold.
You can't like to me like I don't think you can push that Wheeler Yuta button yet to where he makes a decision.
I just wish Wheeler Yuta wasn't such a fucking bitch about this, yo. Like,
But
stop
that's
fucking crying.
that's the shit. Like I
Nigga.
don't think you can push that button until you push the button. I don't think him coming out to make the save would have been the move before he has the trios match.
At least Yuta having some type of like, should I not? That would have been more intriguing to me.
But that's still not him coming out to save Brian.
Which would lead
That's
us
him
to
standing at the ramp looking at his hands. Yeah, like I'm glad he didn't do that. I don't see that
Yeah.
shit.
It would
I
have
don't
just been storyline continuity. That's all.
There's nobody back there that would have come out for Brian.
So there's no more baby faces in this company that matter. So you got to dig down a Private Party and Commander.
Hey, I like Private Party getting TV time, man.
Yo, I fuck with Private Party getting TV. I ain't mad at it. It's 5 years fucking better than ever, nigga. But Commander, I was like, yo, dog, this is insane, my nigga. Commander trying to look like a threat in the main event of Dynamite. Like, nah, they're wilding right now. Like, TK is lost his fucking marbles, my nigga. Lost his fucking marbles, dog. But that was it, man. That was Dynamite for y'all, yo.
Solid episode of Dynamite. Grand Slam is always a good watch. We have Grand Slam Collision coming up on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
So that should be a solid watch as well.
That should be fun.
And then, next week, Bad Blood. We have Wrestle Dream right around the corner. I have to check the dates. I haven't been tapped into New Japan in a little bit, but I think Sabre Jr.'s IWGP World Championship opportunity is coming up pretty soon. I think it's coming up in the next month. I think it's
really?
in October. Yeah, I think it's in October. He's cashing in pretty quick. Like he won the G1. He's like, I want my shit now. So I have to check the date. I think it's coming up in October. If it's not October, it's November. It's definitely before the end of the year, and it's definitely before December. But there's some good
Sabre
stuff going
Jr.
on,
about to smoke shit.
Yeah, man.
Kill shit, smoke shit. I'm fucking with it. It's gonna be a fun time with this 2025 that's approaching us with wrestling.
Yeah, we're gonna close out pretty strong fourth quarter. There's a lot going on, man. I think Brian loses that championship before the fourth quarter is up, so we'll have a new champ pretty soon. I can see him losing that Wrestle Dream, but we'll talk about that more when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there next week. Bad Blood Prediction Show. Make sure y'all tap in with us.
Yeah.
Fuck with us. It's the almighty RSC. Gang shit.
I mean, let's get these Let's get these tunes tuned up. End of the show. Appreciate all y'all for chilling with us. It's the Ringside Club. Make sure you tap in next Thursday. We'll be live, 9 to 5 live. With that being said, peace.